This conference will now be recorded.
Good evening, students. I'm Dr. Divya on behalf of TeenEinstein.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. So today we are starting our third chapter. In this chapter, human reproduction, we are going to learn about human reproduction. In the first chapter, you learn general things about reproduction, right? In that, we have learned about reproduction of organism in general, like the mechanism of reproduction and the types of reproduction and that. And then in the second chapter, we learned about sexual reproduction. That was about sexual reproduction in flowering plants. So in that, we learned the events of sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Correct? And now in the third chapter, we are going to discuss about human reproduction. So before going to the details, we'll discuss the general points about human reproduction. So you all know what is, excuse me once again. Yeah, everyone know that what is sexual reproduction? What is that? The process of reproduction. What is that? The process by which organisms produce their offspring. They are producing their next generation or they are producing their offspring. That is called as reproduction. So how they produce? To the union of male and female gametes. That is called as fertilization. The process of union of male and female gamete is called as fertilization, right? So in this, male gamete that will carry one set of chromosome and the female gamete that also will carry another set of chromosome. So after joining or after the union of the male and female gamete, when the zygote is formed, that will be having two sets of chromosomes. One set from the male gamete and another set from the female gamete. That means the male gamete will carry the male parental chromosomes or the set from that, and female gamete that will be carrying the female part of or the female from a set of chromosome from the female. Got it? So from where these gametes are getting produced? From the reproductive organs of male and female, right? So the male and female, they will produce gametes. Then the fusion of the gametes will take place. That is called as fertilization. So that they will get set of chromosome from each parent. Then the zygote which is formed after the fusion of gametes, that process is called as fertilization. And in human, that fertilization occurs inside the body of female, and the growth and development of that zygote into an embryo, that is also inside the female body, right? So in human, male and female gametes will get produced. The fusion of gametes will take place. That is called as fertilization. And after fertilization, the growth and development of that zygote, that also occurs inside the female body, right? So according to their function, the female and male reproductive organs are grouped. According to the function, the reproductive organs are there in male and female. So according to their function, they are grouped. First is gonads. Gonads means in female, they are the ovaries, and in male, testes. These are producing gametes. Gonads are producing gametes. In female, they are called as ovaries, and in male, they are called as testes. So they are producing gametes, and they secrete sex hormones also. They secrete sex hormones and they are producing the gametes also, right? So according to the function, male and female reproductive organs, we are grouping that organs. First is gonads. Gonads are the organs which produces gametes. So in female, ovaries. They are the gonads, means ovaries. In male, testes. In male, which one are the testes? So in female ovaries and in male testes, they are producing gametes, male and female gametes, and they are secreting some kind of sex hormones also. In second group, ducts. What these ducts will do, the ducts will store these gametes, this formed gametes, that ovaries and testes will produce gametes, and these gametes will be stored in the ducts, and they will transport the gamete also. So under these ducts, we need to learn about accessory sex glands and supporting structures. Accessory sex glands and supporting structures. Accessory sex glands means they are accessing the, which one? This male and female gametes. They are helping in the movement of male and female gametes, and supporting structures, the structures which are supporting. From the name itself, you can get an idea about the function, right? So gonads and ducts, these are two types of organs which are helping for sexual reproduction. Then what are these accessory sex glands? They produce some substances and that can protect gametes, and these substances help in the movement of gametes. The accessory sex glands means already ovaries and testes, they are producing the gametes. So that gametes, for the access of that gametes, they need to produce, they need to have some kind of substances, and that helps in the movement of gametes, right? So in the case of plants, we learned like when the pollen grain is reaching on stigmatic surface, there is a chemical interaction, right? So in such chemical interaction is taking place in the case of human reproduction also. There is some kind of chemical interaction. So such kind of substances should be produced in our body also, in human body also. So accessory glands are helping in such processes. They produce some substances that can protect these gametes. Gametes are protected. So that these substances produced by the accessory glands, they will protect the gametes and they are helping in the movement of gametes. Okay. So what is the role of accessory glands? They will, accessory sex glands, they will produce some substances that can protect the gametes, and that substances, some substances, whatever they are producing, they are helping in the movement of gametes. Okay. Then next is the supporting structures. In female, vagina. In female, and penis. In male, the supporting structure is penis. In female, it is vagina. Okay. In female, which is the supporting structure? Vagina. And in male, it is penis. Okay. These two help in the delivery of gametes. The gametes are produced, and where in gonads, the gametes are produced, and with the help of the accessory sex glands, they are moving, or the movement is taking place with the help of accessory sex glands. Then the supporting structures, with the help of these supporting structures, the delivery of these gametes, it is taking place. In male, supporting structure is penis, and in female, the supporting structure is vagina. So these two help in the delivery of gametes, right? And the growth of the embryo that occurs in the uterus. Where the growth of the embryo occurs, it is occurring in the uterus. So in this chapter, we are going to learn about sexual reproduction in human, then anatomy of male and female sex organs, then gametogenesis, that means the formation of gametes. Gametogenesis, genesis means formation, gametogenesis means gamete formation. So the formation of gametes, then fertilization. First, we are going to learn about sexual reproduction in human, then anatomy. Anatomy, we are going to learn about the structure of male and female sex organs. Then gametogenesis, how these male and female sex organs are producing gametes. Then after gamete formation, which is the next step, fertilization. So we are going to learn about the fertilization and further events. That further events means which leads to the conception. And after conception, the pregnancy and the related events we are going to learn. Which are the events? Events like parturition. Parturition means the process of giving birth. How a human is giving birth. So all these are coming under human reproduction. So we are going to learn everything. So humans, they are sexually reproducing and viviparous. They are viviparous and sexually reproducing. And these reproductive events in human that include formation of gametes. Formation of gametes, that is called as gametogenesis. Then the transfer of sperm into the female genital tract. The sperm is getting transferred to the female genital tract and fusion of male and female gametes. Then what is happening? Fusion. After getting transferred, there is a fusion of male and female gametes. The same way we have learned about reproduction of flowering plants. There also the fusion. Then the formation of zygote. Okay, fusion, then zygote formation, then formation and development of blastocyst. And next is the embryo development and the attachment to the uterine wall. And the embryonic development we are going to learn. Then delivery of the baby. Development of all this. Then delivery of the baby. Embryonic development. Then delivery of the baby. All these things we are going to learn. So the male, we are going to learn about male reproductive system, female reproductive system, then gametogenesis from each male and female reproductive system, how gametes are forming. Then we are going to learn about menstrual cycle, then fertilization and implantation. Fertilization and implantation of that embryo, then pregnancy and embryonic development, pregnancy, then embryonic development of that embryo, then parturition and lactation. All these we are going to learn in this chapter. So first let's learn about the male reproductive system. Okay. So in human reproduction, first we are learning about the male reproductive system. The male reproductive system, it is having so many functions. It is having multiple function. So the sperm production, one function is the sperm production. That means production of this sperm. Sperm production is the first function and that is called as spermatogenesis. What is spermatogenesis? The production of sperm. That is called as spermatogenesis. So male reproductive system is having multiple function. First function is spermatogenesis or the production of sperm. And then controlling reproductive function by various hormones. This is called as regulation. Spermatogenesis, then regulation of various hormones. How after sperm production, they are controlling the reproductive function by various hormones. That is called as regulation. Then transferring of the sperm which are produced. Next is the transferring of sperm which are produced. The produced sperm should get transferred. So that is another function. So these are the main function of male reproductive system. Which are the main functions of reproductive system? First is production of sperm or spermatogenesis. First, male reproductive system is producing sperm. Then they are secreting various hormones which are controlling the reproductive function. Secretion of hormones. That process is called as regulation. Regulation of this reproductive function. How? With the help of various hormones. Then transferring of the sperm. The produced sperm should get transferred. So the transferring of the sperm, that is also done by the male reproductive system. So these are the main functions of male reproductive system. And the male reproductive system consists of male gonads, that is called as testes, and then system of ducts, which consists of epididymal, then vasa differentia, then which one? Ejaculatory ducts and urethra. So the system of ducts, first The male reproductive system consists of male gonads called testes, then accessory ducts, then glands, then external genitalia. What and all? The male reproductive system consists of, see, this is the diagrammatic representation of male reproductive system. That male reproductive system is located in the pelvis region. Pelvis region. Male reproductive system is located in the pelvis region. That include a pair of testes. You can see here a pair of testes and accessory ducts will be there. Then glands, then external genitalia. So male gonads are called as testes, and the system of ducts, which consists of epididymis, then vasa differentia, ejaculatory ducts, and urethra. These are coming under system of ducts. These are the ducts. Epididymis, then vasa differentia, ejaculatory ducts, and urethra. These are coming under ducts. Next, accessory glands, accessory sex glands. These include seminal vesicles, prostate gland, then bulbourethral gland, or that bulbourethral gland is otherwise called as Cowper's gland. Then male reproductive system have external supporting structure called scrotum and penis. External supporting organ, which is the external supporting part? Penis. Got it? So the male reproductive system is located in the pelvis region. That include a pair of testes, then accessory ducts, that will be having accessory ducts, then accessory sex glands. See, pair of testes that is producing the gamete. Then accessory duct, they have storage function. They are storing the produced gametes. Then glands are helping for what? They are helping in the movement, and they are secreting the hormonal secretions also done by these glands. And the external genitalia. They are the supporting structures. Which is the supporting structure in male reproductive system? Penis. Penis is the supporting structure in the male reproductive system. Okay. Now, let's learn each part of male reproductive system in detail. So first, let's discuss about the testes. Testes, here you can see in the male reproductive system, this is the testes, and testes, they are situated outside the abdominal cavity. They are not inside the body, they are outside the abdominal cavity. Testes is situated outside the abdominal cavity, and testes, they are the primary sex organs in man. In man, testes is the primary sex organ in man. So testes, they are situated outside abdominal body, and they are the primary sex organs in man. These are the male gonads. Testes are the male gonads. Right? And these testes they are within a pouch-like structure that is called as scrotum. Here you can see the testis is inside a pouch called scrotum. MCQ, note down. So testes, they are within a pouch called scrotum. And scrotum looks like a pouch with pigmented skin. Scrotum that looks like a pouch with a pigmented skin. Okay. Scrotum looks like a pouch, and it is with pigmented skin, dark pigmented skin. So that is separated into lateral portions by a median ridge. A ridge-like separation is there in that scrotum. So the scrotum, it is separated into lateral portions by a median ridge. Okay, a ridge-like structure will be there which is separating in the middle portion of that scrotum. But internally, scrotum divides into two separate sacs. There is a ridge-like structure in the outer portion of scrotum. That is just like a mark. But internally, the scrotum is divided into two separate sacs. Okay. Internally, inside the scrotum, it is divided into two separate sacs. But outside, it is just a separation mark that is not separated. But internally, there is a division that is divided into two separate sacs. And each sac has one testis. In that, each internal division, each sac is having one testis. In scrotum, that testis maintains a temperature around 2 to 3 degrees. So, inside that scrotum, that testis is able to maintain the temperature around 2 to 3 degrees centigrade. So, it is lower than the normal body temperature, right? A human body temperature is high compared to the temperature of this testis. So, inside the scrotum, the testis is able to maintain a temperature around 2 to 3 degrees centigrade. It's lower than the normal body temperature. So, this is the ideal temperature for that sperm development. Got it? Why it is maintaining a low temperature? Because that is the ideal temperature for the development of sperm. Got it? And so a pair of testes, it is suspended into that scrotum by spermatic cord. Okay? So inside that pouch-like structure which is dark pigmented, that is called as scrotum. Externally, it is having a ridge-like or a mark, and internally it is divided into two separate sacs, and in each sac a testis is present, right? So, and with the help of this scrotum, the testis is able to maintain a lower temperature compared to human body temperature. The testis is able to maintain a very low temperature of 2 to 3 degrees centigrade. Why it is maintaining such a low temperature? Because that is the ideal temperature for that developing sperm. Okay, so in adults, the testis is in oval shape and the length is around 4 to 5 centimeter, and the width of that testis is around 2 to 3 centimeter. In adults, the testis is almost oval shape and the length is around 4 to 5 centimeter. Okay, 4 to 5 centimeter, and the width of the testis is about 2 to 3 centimeter. See, this chapter is having a good weightage in NEET exam. So you have to see, so many new terms are coming in this chapter, and you have a complete, you'll get a complete idea about human reproduction from this chapter. So there are so many new terms, and with the functions of each part and so many hormones, everything we are going to explain in this. So you have to learn about each part with that function. Okay. In this, you are going to learn about structures of each part. So in detail, we are going to explain. You have to note down all these points for NEET exam. You will get so many questions from this part. Okay. And for board exam also, you will get the male reproductive system, draw the structure and explain. Like that, you will get essay type questions from this part. Okay. So the testis, they are situated outside the abdominal cavity, and they are within a pouch called scrotum. And the scrotum that helps in maintaining the low temperature, low temperature around 2 to 3 degree or 2 to 2.5 degree, within 3 degrees centigrade it is. So in adults, each testis, that is an oval shape with a length of about 4 to 5 centimeter and width of 2 to 3 centimeter. And the testis is covered by dense covering. Okay, it is covered by dense covering. So in this, what and all we have learned? Testis, it's in a pouch called scrotum, and scrotum It's a dark pigmented skin, and this helps to maintain a low temperature, which is ideal for the development of sperms. And in scrotum, outside there is no separation, but internally it is separated into two sacs, and each sac is having one testis. Okay, that's all about testis. Then each testis, there are around 200 to 300 lobules in each testis. 200 to 300, around 200, 250 to 300 lobules in each testis. And each lobule contains 1 to 3 tubules. Note down, there is around, this is an average 250 compartments. So 200 to 300. In between that, you will get compartments of testis. There are around 200 to 300 lobules in each testis, and in each lobule, 1 to 3 tubules will be there. Here you can see the testicular lobules. Inside each testis, around 200 to 300 testicular lobules will be there. Okay. And each lobule contains 1 to 3 tubules. And these are highly coiled tubules. Inside you can see highly coiled tubules. Okay. And they are called as seminiferous tubules. These tubules are called as seminiferous tubules. Inside you can see seminiferous tubules. And the sperms are actually getting produced in seminiferous tubules. That sperms, where the sperms are actually getting produced, they are produced in seminiferous tubules. Okay. And process by which the seminiferous tubules of testis produce sperm, that is called as spermatogenesis. Then what is spermatogenesis? In the testis, the seminiferous tubules are producing sperm. Where that sperms are getting produced? Inside seminiferous tubules. So in the testis, the seminiferous tubules are producing sperms. This procedure or process is called as spermatogenesis, or the genesis or the formation of sperms. Okay. So each testis, it has about 200 to 300. So almost around 250 compartments called testicular lobules. They are called as, each lobule is called as testicular lobules. Here you can see the testicular lobules. So it's around 200 to 300. And each testicular lobule contains 1 to 3 highly coiled seminiferous tubules. So inside that lobule, you can see highly coiled. It is a highly coiled structure, which is called as seminiferous tubule. In each lobule, in each testicular lobule, you may have 1 to 3 highly coiled structures, which are called as seminiferous tubules. And in these seminiferous tubules, sperms are getting produced. That procedure, the formation of sperms inside the seminiferous tubule of a testis, it is called as spermatogenesis. Got it? Then next, here you can see this. In the diagram, you can see the sectional view of seminiferous tubule. Okay, this is just to show the sectional view of seminiferous tubule. Okay, this picture is, this diagram is very important. You need to draw and learn all these things. So this is there for your practical exam, right? To identify the slide. And they'll keep the slide under microscope, and you have to identify which is that, and you have to write the reason. With reason you have to identify, right? So here you can see the sectional view of seminiferous tubule. This is the seminiferous tubule. We are zooming. See, this part we are zooming. an enlarged portion of that. That is the seminiferous tubule. Now we are going to learn about seminiferous tubule. So for practical exam also, this part is very important because identification, slide identification will be there. So the wall of seminiferous tubule that consists of two types of cell. You can see this is the seminiferous tubule, this one. Okay, so the seminiferous tubule, that wall of that seminiferous tubule consists of two types of cells. First one is male germ cells or spermatogonia. Here you can see two types of cells you can see. One is the small one and another one is some kind of large cells. Right? So there are two types of cells in the wall of seminiferous tubule. First one is male germ cells. Okay. Male germ cell or spermatogonia. You can see the male germ cell or spermatogonia here. These are the spermatogonia. Okay. And the second type of cells are Sertoli cells. Sertoli cells you can see here. Here. Sertoli cells. These are the large cells. Okay, this is the seminiferous tubule. First, we are going to learn about the wall. Wall consists of two types of cells, spermatogonia and Sertoli cells. Spermatogonia, they are the smaller cells and Sertoli cells are the larger cells. Okay, the male germ cell or spermatogonia. Male germ cell means the cell which are producing male gametes. Okay. Or spermatogonial cells that will undergo, this spermatogonial cells or male germ cell will undergo meiotic division. That will undergo meiotic division and these are sperm forming cells. These are the sperm forming cells. Which are the sperm forming cells? Spermatogonia. They are the sperm forming cells and they undergo meiotic division and they will form sperms. They will undergo meiotic division to form sperms. Okay, you can see here. They will undergo meiotic division to form sperms. Okay. The other cells. Which are the other cells? Here you can see the enlarged cells called Sertoli cells. They have several functions. They are supporting the developing germ cells. Here you can see the developing germ cells. So the Sertoli cells, what are all the function of the Sertoli cells? They are supporting cells for the developing germ cells. For the developing germ cells, these are the supporting cells. Sertoli cells are having supportive function and they provide nutrition to the spermatids. So Sertoli cells are producing nutrients or nutrition to the spermatids. Here you can see the spermatids. So Sertoli cells are providing nutrients or nutrition to the spermatids. And Sertoli cells secrete androgen binding protein, ABP, androgen binding protein. Sertoli cells secrete androgen binding protein. Note down, androgen binding protein. It is secreted by Sertoli cells and that concentrates testosterone in the seminiferous tubule. So, androgen binding protein which is secreted by Sertoli cells. What is the function of that? That concentrates testosterone in the seminiferous tubule. Okay. So, Sertoli cells, they are secreting androgen binding protein, ABP, short form ABP, androgen binding protein, and that concentrates testosterone in the seminiferous tubule. And the Sertoli cells secrete another protein. Which is that another protein? They are secreting ABP, androgen binding protein, and they are secreting one more protein called inhibin. And this suppresses follicle stimulating hormone. Okay, inhibin. From the name itself, it's clear. It is having some kind of inhibitory action or suppressive action. That inhibin that suppresses follicle stimulating hormone, FSH, short form FSH, follicle stimulating hormone. Okay. This follicle stimulating hormone that stimulates testicular growth and enhances the production of androgen binding protein. Okay, that stimulates that follicle stimulating hormone or FSH. What is the role of FSH, follicle stimulating hormone? Note down, these are important questions for NEET exam. Follicle stimulating hormone that stimulates testicular growth. Okay, follicle stimulating hormone that enhances or stimulates the testicular growth and enhances the production of androgen binding protein. Okay, enhances the production of androgen binding protein. So androgen binding protein, it is secreted by steroid cells. So here FSH or follicle stimulating hormone that enhances or that stimulates the production of androgen binding protein. So all these are connected. So this FSH will stimulate or this enhances the production of androgen binding protein, and Sertoli cells will secrete androgen binding protein, right? So there is a connection. And here you can see the region outside the seminiferous tubule. Here you can see this is one seminiferous tubule and this is another one, and here this is another seminiferous tubule. The outside region, the region outside seminiferous tubule, it is called as interstitial space in between, interstitial space. Okay, here a purple color portion you can see. This is how in slide, when it is a slide and identification, if you are getting for your practical exam, this will be the appearance. In that slide you can see this kind of structures that are the sectional view of seminiferous tubules. Okay, so this is how it will be for practical exams. And now here coming back to this, the space between two seminiferous tubule, okay, or outside the one second. The interstitial space between the seminiferous tubule, that is called as the interstitial space, that is the space between two seminiferous tubule or the region outside the seminiferous tubule. You can see the space outside this seminiferous tubule, that is called as interstitial space. Okay, you can see this is the space, and interstitial space that have small blood vessels. You can see here small blood vessels and interstitial cells. You can see here this is the blood vessels surrounding that and the interstitial cells. You can see here. See, you can see this is the blood vessel, these red and blue color spots which are present in between the seminiferous tubule, and here you can see some more cells, small dotted structures, some more cells. Those are called as interstitial cells. They are otherwise, these interstitial cells are otherwise called as Leydig cells. Leydig cells. Interstitial cells are otherwise called as Leydig cells. So in the space between adjacent seminiferous tubule, there are cluster of cells called interstitial cells. So adjacent seminiferous tubule, there is a space in between these seminiferous tubule. There you can see blood vessels as well as cluster of cells that are called as interstitial cells or Leydig cells. Okay, and this Leydig cell, they synthesize and secrete testicular hormone called androgen. These Leydig cells or the interstitial cells, they are secreting testicular hormone called androgen. So androgen is secreted by androgen or testicular hormone that is secreted by Leydig cells or the interstitial cells. So in interstitial space, you can see blood vessels and interstitial cells or Leydig cells and androgen, the testicular hormone androgen, it is secreted by interstitial cells. Okay. So in each seminiferous tubule, it is lined on its inside by two types of cells called male germ cell. Male germ cell, otherwise it is called as spermatogonia and Sertoli cells. Second, male germ cells, and second type is Sertoli cells. The male germ cell will undergo meiotic division and it will lead to the formation of sperms. Correct? The male germ cell or spermatogonia that will undergo meiotic division to form sperms, and Sertoli cells provide nutrition to the germ cells. Here you can see the enlarged cells. These are Sertoli cells. Sertoli cells will provide nutrition to the germ cell, and the region outside the seminiferous tubule, it is called as interstitial space. Here outside space, that is called as interstitial space, and that contains small blood vessel. You can see here small blood vessels in the interstitial space, and they have interstitial cells which are called as Leydig cells. Interstitial cells are also called as Leydig cells, and these Leydig cells synthesize and secrete testicular hormone. Leydig cells synthesize and they secrete testicular hormone called androgen. Which is that hormone? Androgen. Note down, androgen. It is secreted by Leydig cells or interstitial cells. Okay, these are the testicular. They are the testicular hormone called androgen. Okay, and next is the male reproductive system that consists of system of ducts. We have already told ducts. Ducts are there. Sex accessory ducts. Male sex accessory ducts are there. That consists of system of ducts and male sex accessory ducts. Male sex accessory ducts include retitestis. You can see here retitestis, then vasa efferentia. Here you can see vasa efferentia, then epididymis, the third one epididymis, and vas deferens. Vas deferens. Okay, fourth one is vas deferens. You can see here the loop-like structure, vas deferens. So male sex accessory ducts include retitestis, vasa efferentia, then epididymis, then vas deferens. So the male sex accessory ducts that include retitestis, vasa efferentia, then epididymis, then vas deferens. Okay. Here in this picture you can see very clearly the sex accessory ducts of male reproductive system. Retitestis. Here you can see this is the enlarged view. Okay, enlarged view of testis, and retitestis you can see here. Okay, and these are the seminiferous tubules. You can see the first, this is seminiferous tubule, and this is retitestis. Then vasa efferentia. These are efferent ductules. They are vasa efferentia. Okay, first seminiferous tubules, then retitestis, then it is opening to vasa efferentia, then epididymis. Epididymis, that is this large structure, then vas deferens. Vas deferens, that is this structure, vas deferens, outside. Okay. So in the structure of testis, you can see seminiferous tubule. Here you can see seminiferous tubule first, and here, right here, you can see seminiferous tubules, right? And these seminiferous tubule of testis open into retitestis. You can see here, it is opening. This is the seminiferous tubule, highly coiled structure. 1 to 3 seminiferous tubules, right? Inside this only the sperms are getting produced, right? So this seminiferous tubule, it is opening into retitestis. Where is the retitestis? You can see just next to this is the retitestis. And retitestis opens to vasa efferentia. Vasa efferentia. Retitestis is opening to vasa efferentia. That is mentioned as efferentactules. Okay, you can see here this is vasa efferentia. Okay, then efferentactules, you can see here in the picture it is marked as efferentactules, vasa efferentia. And in vasa efferentia, here that leaves the testis and that opens to the epididymis, which is located along the posterior surface of the testis. Here this is the posterior surface of the testis, and here this vasa efferentia that opens to epididymis. This is the epididymis. This is the head portion. This is the middle portion or the body portion, and this is the tail portion. Okay. So that is opening to vasa efferentia is opening to the epididymis. Epididymis, and then here you can see epididymis. It is a coma-shaped structure, right? It is a coma-shaped structure, and you can see in the picture the shape. It's almost like a coma, and it's about 4 centimeter. Okay, this epididymis is around 4 centimeter, and it is a mass of closely coiled tubules. It is a mass of closely coiled tubules. Okay, and at the anterior end, just listen, these are important for NEET question. At the anterior end of testis, it is called as caput epididymis. Caput means head portion. This is a head portion. Caput epididymis. Okay, epididymis. Caput epididymis means head portion. Okay, then in the middle portion, it is called as corpus epididymis. Corpus means the body. Okay, so in the middle portion, it is called as corpus epididymis. Here the body of epididymis, it is epididymis. It is marked as body of epididymis. That is called as corpus epididymis. And posterior end, it is called as coda epididymis. Coda epididymis means tail of the epididymis. Okay, tail of epididymis, that is called as coda. Coda means the tail portion. Okay, so first is caput, then corpus, and last the end portion or the tail portion, it is called as coda. Coda epididymis. So what is the function of this epididymis? This epididymis stores the sperm and they secrete a fluid which nourishes the sperm. So this epididymis secretes, or that is secreting a fluid which is giving or which is nourishing the sperm. Got it? And what is the function? Mainly that storage of sperms. Here, from here, sperms are getting produced and it is getting stored in epididymis. And another function, they are producing a fluid. They are secreting a fluid which is nourishing the sperm. Okay. And the epididymis, here with this picture I'll explain. And this epididymis, that leads to vas deferens. Okay, vas deferens, that epididymis leads to vas deferens. You can see here. From here, it is going to vas deferens. Here, this portion. That ascends to the abdomen. That ascends to the abdomen. This is vas deferens, this portion, this loop-like portion. And loop over urinary bladder. Okay, vas deferens. It's just loop. It is, that is loop over urinary bladder. This loops over urinary bladder. Okay, and it receives a duct from seminal vesicle. that receives a duct from seminal vesicle. This is the seminal vesicle, right? So that receives a duct from seminal vesicle. That vas deferens that receives a duct. Here you can see a duct from seminal vesicle. Okay, and this is opening. This opens into urethra and ejaculatory duct. That vas deferens. It is receiving a duct from the seminal vesicle and that opens to urethra. You can see here. Together it is opening to urethra. This yellow color, that middle portion, urethra. And ejaculatory duct, which is helping for, which is working as ejaculatory duct. Okay. And this vas deferens, what is the function? They carry the sperms. Vas deferens carry the sperms. Right. So from here, epididymis, it is moving to vas deferens, and vas deferens from that receives a duct from seminal vesicle. Here, seminal vesicle, you can see here seminal vesicle that receives a duct from seminal vesicle and that opens to urethra. Here you can see urethra, the yellow colored part here, and that works as ejaculatory duct. Urethra as an ejaculatory duct. And vas deferens carry sperms. Here you can see vas deferens, that is carrying sperms. From here, the sperms are coming out through vas deferens. So the carrying of sperm, that is the duty. And ejaculatory ducts store and transport sperm from testis to outside through urethra. Ejaculatory duct, what is the function? They'll store the sperm and they'll transport the sperm from testis. From this testis, this ejaculatory ducts, they'll carry the sperm and they'll transfer the sperm from the testis to outside. How it will reach outside? Through urethra. Through urethra, it will reach outside. So, from where this urethra originates? Urethra originates from urinary bladder. Here you can see this is the urinary bladder, and urethra originates from the urinary bladder and extends through the penis, right? Through urinary bladder, it extends through the penis, and that external opening is called as urethral meatus, right? Urethral meatus, the external opening. Okay. So here the penis is the male external genitalia. So here we are going to learn the structures. Seminiferous tubule of the testis that open into vasa efferentia through retitestis. Right? Seminiferous tubule, it is opening to vasa efferentia through retitestis, and this vasa efferentia, they leave the testis and open into epididymis located along the posterior surface of each testis. And this is a head portion of epididymis, and this is the body portion, middle portion, that body portion, corpus, and this is a tail portion, cauda epididymis, that is the tail portion. So from seminiferous tubule, now it is in the sperm, it will reach the epididymis, and the epididymis leads to vas deferens. You can see here, vas deferens, epididymis, it is leading to the vas deferens, and that ascends to abdomen and loops over the urinary bladder. This loops over the urinary bladder, and this receives a duct from seminal vesicle and opens into urethra as the ejaculatory duct, right? And these ducts store and transport the sperm from the testis to the outside, and how it will reach outside? Through urethra. And the urethra originates from the urinary bladder. Urethra, it is originating from the urinary bladder and extends through the penis to the external opening called urethral meatus. Okay. And next, the human reproductive structure or the male reproductive system, the penis is the male external genitalia. Penis is the male external reproductive organ. Okay. Penis is the male external genitalia and it is made up of special tissue that helps in erection of the penis to facilitate insemination. The penis is made up of special type of tissue that helps in the erection of the penis, right? It helps in that specialized tissues will help in the erection of the penis that helps to facilitate insemination. What is insemination? The deposition of the semen into the female reproductive tract. So the deposition of the semen into the female reproductive tract. That occurs with the help of this penis. And for the erection of this penis, there are specialized tissues which is made up of, that penis is made up of special tissues that helps in the erection of penis, that facilitates or that helps in the insemination. Means deposition of semen into the female reproductive tract. And the enlarged end of penis, it is called as glans penis. What is semen? Semen or seminal fluid that is secreted by gonads, and that semen consists of sperms, that is seminal fluid, the fluid with sperms. Okay, so the enlarged end of penis, it is called as glans penis. Here you can see the enlarged end of penis, it is called as glans penis. Here this enlarged end of penis is called as glans penis, and it is covered by loose fold of skin called foreskin. The loose fold of skin, glans penis is covered by loose fold of skin, that is called as foreskin. You can see here foreskin. The glans penis is covered by loose fold of skin called foreskin. Okay. Next, the male accessory gland. We have told about accessory glands, right? Male accessory glands include paired seminal vesicles. You can see here the seminal vesicles, they are paired. Two are there, like paired seminal vesicle, then prostrate. Here you can see down to that seminal vesicle, down to that prostrate, then paired bulbourethral gland. These are the bulbourethral gland. You can see here the paired bulbourethral gland, and secretion of these glands that consists of the seminal plasma. Secretion of these glands consists of seminal plasma. Okay, and this seminal plasma, it is rich in fructose. Seminal plasma is rich in fructose, calcium, and certain enzymes. Seminal plasma is rich in fructose, calcium, and enzymes, some kind of enzymes. And these secretion of bulbourethral glands also helps in the lubrication of penis. So that secretion of bulbourethral glands, it is helping in the lubrication of penis. Okay. So the male accessory glands include paired seminal vesicles, you can see here, and the prostrate gland and paired bulbourethral gland. Bulbourethral gland, you can see here, the paired one, and secretion of these glands. Secretions of these glands that constitute seminal plasma. These secretion of this also contributes the seminal plasma, and the seminal plasma is rich in fructose, calcium, and some kind of enzymes. And the secretion of this bulbourethral gland that helps in the lubrication of penis. So these are the important points. And just wait 5 more minutes. Let me discuss some important points. So ejaculatory ducts, we have already told, right? They are two short tubes. These tubes are formed by the union of duct from seminal vesicle and vas deferens. Here you can see. Okay, that ejaculatory ducts are composed of fibrous and muscular, fibrous, then muscular and columnar epithelial cells. Okay, ejaculatory ducts. They have fibrous epithelial cells, then muscular epithelial cells and columnar epithelial cells. Okay, the ejaculatory ducts carry sperms. Okay, these ejaculatory ducts, they are carrying sperms and secretion of seminal vesicles. So what are the functions? Ejaculatory ducts, they will carry sperm and secretions of seminal vesicles. Seminal vesicle secretion also. Okay, then urethra. Next is urethra. In male, that urethra, it is a common duct for the urinary system and the reproductive system. Urethra is a common duct. Okay, in male reproductive system, urethra, that is a common duct for male reproductive system as well as the urinary system. For reproductive system and urinary system, there is a common duct called urethra because it is a passage for urine and semen. Through urethra, the semen and as well as the urine that passes through this urethra. Okay, it's about 200 centimeter. These points and all for NEET exam. Okay, this is around 20 centimeters, not 200, 20 centimeters. Both urine and semen both having a common passage that is called urethra. It is around 20 centimeters. Okay, the penis, that is male genitalia or male copulatory organ. Which is the male copulatory organ? Penis. It is called the male copulatory organ or male genitalia. And at the tip of the glands of penis, you can see the glands of penis, there is a slit-like opening. You can see a slit-like opening. It is called the urinogenital aperture. Urinogenital aperture. A slit-like structure that is called as urinogenital aperture. Penis have two main functions. What are the two main functions? First is conduction of urine. Urine passage, it is occurring through penis. Then transferring of semen to the female reproductive tract. What are the functions? Urine passage and the transferring of semen into the female reproductive tract during sexual intercourse. During sexual intercourse, the penis is helping for the transferring of semen to the female reproductive tract. And that penis consists of 3 cylindrical masses of erectile tissues. 3 cylindrical mass of erectile tissues. That penis consists of 3 cylindrical mass of erectile tissues. No need to go in detail. So these are the main questions in the previous exams, previous NEET exams. And the glans penis, it is formed by the ventral tissue among these 3 tissues. Okay, I said there are 3 erectile tissues, cylindrical mass of erectile tissues. So among this, some ventral tissues are there. That glans of penis is formed by the ventral tissues. Okay, and glans penis, it is most sensitive part of penis. Glans penis is the sensitive part of penis, and glans penis is covered by loose foreskin. Okay, that is called as foreskin. Just now we told loose foreskin called foreskin. That is covering the glans penis, right? And during sexual arousal, the 3 bundles of tissues. Just now I told 3 bundles of tissues in the penis that become engorged with blood, and that cause erection. So how it is done during the sexual arousal? 3 bundles of tissues in penis. 3 bundles of 3 types of tissues are there, I said, and these tissues of penis become engorged with blood vessels, and that causes erection. Got it? And next, semen. Semen is a mixture of sperm and secretion of seminal vesicles. It's a mixture of sperm and secretion of seminal vesicles. Then prostrate gland secretion is there. bulbourethral gland secretion. Okay, secretion of sperm plus secretion of it, that will be having semen means sperm, then secretion of seminal vesicle, secretion of prostate gland, and secretion of bulbourethral gland. So in an ejaculation, a volume of semen is around 2.5 to 5 ml. Okay, and in that the sperm count is around 50 to 1 million per ml. 50 to 1 million sperms will be there, right? So it is around the semen volume in an ejaculation. The semen volume is around 2.5 to 5 ml, and the number of sperms 50 to 150 million per ml, and the semen pH is around 7.2 to 7.8. Semen pH is around 7.2 to 7.8. So that's all about the male reproductive system. Is it clear? Clear? You have any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so next class we will learn about female reproductive system. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.